Hey guys, so I am here with Dobby. Apparently he wants to be in this teaching video. I did get him during COVID when we were home, so I guess he is a teaching dog or a teacher's pet, if you will. But let's just jump right into it. This is one of the videos that I wish I would have... Okay, bye. This is one of the videos I wish I would have had, or I wish I would have watched before I started teaching, or at least in my first year. I saw lots of videos, but they were never realistic, or it was never anything that I hadn't already heard before. And some of these might be the same, some of them you might have heard, but they are different when you're actually in the classroom. So let's jump into it. Is be the change you want to see in the classroom. I also like to change this up and make it be the calm you want to see in the classroom. If you as the teacher are losing your marbles, so will the kids be. If the kids are going out of control and they're absolutely crazy, the best thing you can do is to just be like, you know what, I need a break, you need a break, we all need to be calm, let's take 5 minutes. Show them how to self-regulate, how to be calm, how to act calm. If you show them how to be calm and you show them how to regulate their body, their emotions, their mind from going crazy, or even with the anger is a huge one for kids. If you show kids how to regulate that and show them by your actions, it is huge. They respect you more. They do learn to have emotional regulation much faster, much quicker, much better, because they see it modeled. So be the calm you want to see in the classroom because you're that first model for them. So the second thing is sometimes the children are there to be safe, not always to learn. I noticed this quite a lot when I was working downtown in inner city schools. Lots of times the kids cannot read or they cannot write, they can't do math, they have a multiple array of different issues going on at home with learning the whole bit. However, when they come to school, you have to make that choice to love them. Which we'll talk about for tip number 4, but you also have to realize that they are not there to learn to be the brightest, to be the smartest. They're gonna learn, but they're there to be loved, to be safe, to be clothed, to be fed, to be welcomed, and to be warm. That's why they're there. They are not there so they can learn long division and like excel at it and it be the most amazing thing in the world for them. They are just happy, or at least my experience, they were just happy with a hug, some food, and someone to talk to and listen to them because they don't have that at home. So what I really want to get across to you is, and I found it frustrating too, especially my first year, is it's not always easy to teach everybody. They will not always learn at the same paces or want to learn even at all, because they are not there yet. They need to have their fundamental needs met and their love met before they can teach. And I heard that all the time, but it's so different seeing it. Like, yeah, we fed them, we clothed them, we gave them food, we gave their baby kids or siblings diapers. Like, we did so much, and if they don't have that, especially during COVID, it is such a poor quality of life for them without that. So where it stands on the needs scale, teaching them like long division or multiplication or whatever ranks a lot lower than having a conversation with that kid. They're not always there to learn right off the bat. They are there to be loved right off the bat. This one I'm sure you have probably heard 100,000 times, but seriously, ask a mentor teacher, ask some other teacher, ask a grade partner or a teacher who was in your position before. Ask them for their materials. Ask them for their slides, their Google Forms, their docs. Ask them for Flipgrid videos or codes or lesson plans or year plans or any sort of plans. They have it. They have everything. Sometimes it's just a pain in the butt to get them out, and they might be a little... But really, it is awesome. More often than not, I have not really met any teachers who don't give you things. More often than not, the teacher will say, you will hear this all the time. It will be engraved in your brain. Do not reinvent the wheel. all the time. I hear it all the time. And it's wonderful. I'm glad that teachers are so helpful and they share and they give and we pass things around and we give information because we're all learning the same thing at the same time, doing the same curriculum in the same grade. Obviously different if you're in a different grade. But it is so beneficial to share things, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. I've done it before and it sucks. Yes, I know my lesson plans really well. I like my lesson plans. They fit exactly what I'm doing and how I'm teaching it. But if you get somebody else's lesson plans or slides or docs or, you know, slideshow of what you're doing or anything, read it beforehand, tweak what you want to tweak, make it your own, change the colors, change the wording, know what you're going to teach and then teach it. It's half the work that you would be doing if you were just going to do it all yourself, right? It's half the work. Why not do that? Everybody wants to share. Be on that teacher, your mentor, teacher, whoever. Ask them and keep reminding them. Teachers have so many things on their mind. It usually gets slipped. They're not doing it to be rude. Please keep asking them. The next one I heard all the time going to school, not much around my life, but definitely when I was in university for this. It's build relationships with your kids. You can have the best or the worst lesson plans. You can have the prettiest or the ugliest classroom. You can do whatever you want, but it does not matter if you do not have a relationship with your kids. And you're probably going, yeah, I've heard that before, duh. And you're right, 100% duh. However, this is the difference. You need to have relationships with every single kid. You cannot pick favorites. You need to have a favorite part of each kid. So that might be one kid's hilarious jokes. That might be not a good skill for another kid. It might be their hugs. One other kid might have the best handwriting. Another kid might be sweet. 5 minutes out of every week. And you love that part of them. It is your choice to have a relationship with the kid, and it is your choice to like them. You have to choose that every single day. Sometimes it's not easy. Some kids make it not easy for you, which I'm sure you've heard that the kids who need the most love ask for it in the craziest ways or the most difficult ways. And that's true. I've seen it firsthand. I have dealt with it firsthand. It is most definitely true. However, the difference from hopefully the other advice you've heard is you need to make that choice. It is not a, oh, well, I get along with this kid, or like, I don't really like hang out with them or vibe with them, I can't really talk, like, You need to make that choice every single day, multiple times a day. After everything they do, good or bad, you need to make that choice, especially if it doesn't come easy to you with that kid. You need to make that choice that I'm gonna like them today. We're gonna get along. I'm gonna find something we agree with, something we do together, something we have a shared interest in, even if it's food or store or clothes or anything. You need to make that effort. And that is day in, day out. Not just waiting for that relationship to happen. You need to build it. That is my difference. I always heard, have a relationship with your kids, and I just thought, like, yeah, it comes. It does not. You need to do the work. You need to make it happen. You are the adult. You need to make that relationship choice. The last one I learned during my first year teaching. It was my second practicum going into my first year of teaching, and it was seek to understand rather than to be understood. So you seek first to understand where the kid is coming from, and then you would like to be understood. So try and put yourself in their shoes, figure out what they're talking about, what they're feeling, and sometimes that's not always easy. Sometimes it's in the middle of your lesson, sometimes it's while you're talking, sometimes it's after you just gave instructions. You need to make that effort to understand them before anything else gets done. You need to make that effort to understand where they're coming from, and a lot of that goes into emotional regulation, self-regulation, and gentle discipline works really well with that, instead of like, okay, go out of the class or go do this, or you're in a timeout, or whatever the case may be for whatever age group you're working with. The gentle discipline part of that is not always amazing for every kid, but for a lot of kids, especially the ones you might not think, It works really well because you're trying to understand them first, and then you bring it back to what your boundaries are and what you need. So understand where they're coming from, why they're upset, why they're overreacting or reacting completely normal, right? They're having big feelings. Completely understand where they're coming from before you ask them to, come on back and reel it back in. And then these are the boundaries. This is what I need you to do. This is how I need you to act in this classroom. So try your best to seek to understand them before you lose your mind, before you start screaming, before you do anything, before you go back to teaching. Understand them first, then bring them back to understand you and what you're learning. So understanding their emotional self-regulation, then you. Unfortunately, in teaching, you always come at least second. So they come first. You need to figure out how they're feeling, why they're feeling that, and what's going on. Nothing will get done, nothing will get taught, nothing will get learned if you don't have that piece, which ties into the whole, like, they're coming there for that love and support. If you don't have that piece, you don't have anything. You don't have relationship, you don't have love, you don't have harmony in the classroom, and you really just, you don't have learning, right? What's the point? You need to have all of that fundamental foundational things first before you can do the teaching. Seek to understand how they're going and how they're doing, what they're feeling before you go and start teaching. Or if it is in the middle of a tantrum, seek to understand why the tantrum is going on and how they're feeling before just assuming and before just moving on and teaching. Anyway, thanks guys for listening. These are some of the things, just the first 5 I can think of. Really, I have so many. I will probably make another video in a couple weeks about the next 5. However, these were just the first or top 5 things that I wish I would have known when I first started teaching or going into teaching. That would have really helped me on my practicums. And is that the plural of practicum? Anyway, on both of my on my practicum, I think this would have been really beneficial. These things aren't easy. Sounds really easy, but they're not always easy when you're actually in a classroom with kids who don't have the fundamental needs and you're their first support person. Take care of them and yourself, and hopefully your year at school is amazing. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'm gonna go wrangle that cat and dog right now while they're looking at me. Yeah, thanks. Bye guys.